Hey guys, it's Kyle. I had to buy a new sprinkler controller. We haven't used ours in a little while because it's been winter in Florida. Winter, it's below 70, whatever. Anyway, so during the winter months, even in Florida, and it cools down, but it rains a little more sometimes, so we don't necessarily have to water all the time. I haven't watered in probably several months, and my yard is still growing. I just had it taken care of yesterday. But so when we do the review, it'll actually look nice and mowed. Now, one thing that we found is I got an email from my utility company the other day, and I was like, "What's this?" It's like you have excessive use. I guess I turned on some sort of notification within my account to notify me that if I have excessive use than what I normally do. And so I looked at my bill, my past several months of bills, and we use about 6,000 to 7,000 gallons of water a month. And I know that's insane. It's a lot of water, but it's a family of five, and people like to take long showers and baths. I was in the Navy. They taught us get in, get wet, wash, get out. I mean, the I can usually be in and out of a shower in about 5 minutes, unless I just need a long hot shower, after a hard day or something like that or whatever. But so I had an issue, and I got an email, and it was like, "You've used 3,000 gallons of water in 3 days." I'm like, "Whoa, what?" So I went out to the garage, and of course, my old funky controller that's 7 years old that came with the house when we built it. I'm going through the different selections, and some of them are on, some of them are off, some of them you can't see. So clearly, the controller is malfunctioning or having a problem. And so I went to change the date, and that didn't work. I went to change the time, and that didn't work. So I was able to change some of the zones to lower the water, but then it was still watering like 2 or 3 times a day, and it did this for 3 days. It watered like 2 or 3 times a day for 3 days, and used 3,000 gallons of water on my 6 different zones. So I shut it off, and I did some research, and I chose the Rain Machine 8 Mini. And the reason I chose that over the big Rain Machine, really for me, was just price. This one was a little bit cheaper than that one. And I chose the Rain Machine over the Rakio. I was looking at the Rakio because the Rakio, it was similarly priced, but in my research, I found that you connect to a server somewhere. You don't connect directly to your device. And my problem with that is if they go out of business for whatever reason, or if something happens, um, let's say the internet is down, um, but I'm still home, and I want to control my device, or I want to stop my device or whatever, I can't except manually going out there. But as long as my internal network is up, which that's what I do networking, as long as my internal network is up, I can connect to the device to control it or change settings or things like that. I didn't want to be tied to a server somewhere that I couldn't access for whatever reason, like if they got bought or they went out of business or something like that. I didn't want to be tied to something like that. So I chose the Rain Machine. So we're going to unbox it. There's really not much to this device, and we're going to try to set up the wireless, see if I can set it up before we actually have to go out in the garage. And I know my wireless is good out there, but just in case. And then what we need to do is unhook the old system, hook up the new one, the wires to the new one, and then test them. The first thing that they want you to do is download their Rain Machine app. So we're going to go in to the Play Store, and we're going to download the Rain Machine app for Android, because that's what I have. I don't have an iPhone. So let's see. Play Store. I've already searched for it, and we're going to install it. Alright, instant installing. It's that quick. So I don't have any devices hooked up yet, so what we have to do is go power this up, and I'm going to try it from my desk just so I can at least power up and get the network stuff set up before I take it out there, and we'll see if that works. And this thing is like covered in all kinds of like plastic. I don't even think it's like protective. I think it's just, I don't know what it is. Like shrink wrap the shrink wrap. And this will aggravate my old boss. I know he's not watching, but it's the first thing I do. I hate these plastic cover things because I don't care if there's fingerprints on them. That's just me. Let's open this thing up. Pops open like that. This piece comes off. Looks like we have the 24 volt AC, rain sensors, 8 different things, 8 different zones. I only have 6 zones in my yard, so this will be more than enough. Hopefully I don't need one of the big giant ones, because those were a lot more expensive, but hopefully just this little tiny controller will do the job. Alright, so to get power hooked up, there's 2 spots for 24 volt AC. Anyway, you take the wires, and all you do, you push these down like a button, and then you push the wire inside so it exposes a hole. You push them in, and then when you release them, it kind of clamps down on them. So it's not super tight, not the tightest thing in the world, but you're not over here playing with live wires anyway. So I'm going to plug it in, get it powered up just here at my desk to see if we can at least start up that part before wiring it up. You can see the first thing that came on was a wireless, and really it's probably just an indicator light showing that there's power. Alright, so it looks like it's powered up and ready to go. Now all we have to do is see if we can connect it to our wireless here, and then once we do that, we will take it out to the garage, hook everything up, and once we get that done, we'll be able to test out the zones and test out the sprinklers using my smartphone. So the first thing that they want you to do is to connect it to, well, download the app, power it up. They want you to go into your device, and they want you to connect directly to your Wi-Fi. Or not your Wi-Fi, directly to your device. So I'm going to go to my device. I've downloaded the Rain Machine app. I'm just going to go to my Wi-Fi, my connections. I'm going to choose the Rain Machine that shows up on here, and I know it's mine because I haven't ever seen another Rain Machine around here. So we're getting connected. Alright, so it says connected. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go to the Rain Machine app and go to settings, and we want to rename our device because you know, if 50 of your neighbors get the same device, you don't want it to show up as the same thing. So we're going to go to where our Rain Machine downloaded on our phone. Find your Rain Machine, which is the only one that's in there. So it wants me to tap on any of the backlit images. I guess it's just registering. So now it wants to connect to my Wi-Fi. So what I'm telling it is I'm going to connect to my Wi-Fi. We're not going to show our password. So it's getting connected. All right. So now it's basically saying that it's connected to me. I need to give it a new device name. So we're going to do it. And we're going to get it saved in there. So what we're doing is we're just setting it up. Now, this is a little bothersome because it ties into Google's Maps. If you're a little paranoid, not paranoid, if you don't like the world knowing everything about you, like Facebook and Facebook and Snapchat, Twitter, all those things. You know, this thing uses some smart information, so it uses your location and ties into weather, different weather services for your area. So on here, it just says, okay, this is where you live. So it actually has my physical address in it. Not a huge deal, because I'm not too worried about it, but we're going to save it, and so it knows where I am. Then it wants to know your time zone. And in order to access your raid machine remotely, I need to get a valid email address. So I'm going to put in my email address and save it, because it's probably going to register my email address. And then so it sent a verification email to me. So we're going to go check our email real quick. Wants me to verify my account. And it says the rain machine was not able to connect to our server. Please cycle it. So we're going to go back. We're going to unplug it because I'm just here at my desk. Plug it back in. All right. So now it says my email address has been confirmed. Yay! So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go into my Rain Machine app, and we're going to see if we can go ahead and just pre-program some things before I get stuff set, you know, actually unwired and hooked back up. So we want to go into our device, and it shows this whole week, month schedule. You can change things. So zone 1, we need to change some notifications, watering history, snooze, restrictions. So we are supposed to water. We're only supposed to water for my type of address on Wednesdays and Saturdays. So we're going to say Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday we don't water. And we're going to say if it drops below 36, don't water. We're in Florida. I think once a year we drop down and stuff like that. Minimum watering time, 30 seconds. Rain sensor. So we have two options. We can either, for the rain sensor, you can either use your hardwired rain sensor, if you have one, or you can use this one, which actually is going to go through the weather app, the weather that it ties into. So it really just depends on which one you want to do. I can say both. That way, in case it's wrong, it's wrong. And then we're going to see if we can add stuff. So we have programs, adaptive watering, start time, end time, cycle soaks. All right, zone, we're going to set the zones. So let's go find. We're going to have to go and find the settings in this thing. Let's see. I guess it's not going to let me do it until I can't do zones yet. So I think I need to hook up the zones before I can actually label them. So let's go do that and see what we got to do next.